up, Craig?
Hello, welcome to today's episode of Juice of the Numbers, your statistics in sports podcast. I'm your host, Joshua Tracy.
And I'm Corwin. Hi.
And today we're going to run a whole gamut of topics today, talking about stuff in the NFL, plenty of stuff in the NFL, some baseball stats and history stuff for fun, and pick our movies for Monday's episode. So we've got a lot to talk about, which is nice. You ready to get started?
I'm very much ready to get started.
Then let's get started. I guess since today is technically the stats episode, let's start off with that. Yeah, so I was running a bunch of queries in the Baseball Reference Play Index because I've been having a ball doing it. And I wanted to know what the all-time single-season hit record was. And do you have any impression of what that number is?
The all-time single-season hit record.
Yes.
I don't actually.
Give me a guess.
Does Ichiro have it?
Ichiro does not. Oh, I closed that at the tab. I don't think he does, but he's dangerously close.
Man, I guess I'll say 285. I don't think anyone had I don't want to say it's over 300 if that's a milestone that hasn't been met, but at the same time
over 300.
I'll say 285.
So that would even be high. Although feels very reasonable, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean that's what a hit and a half essentially per game.
Sorry, by the way, it is Ichiro. I had closed the tab out. It was Ichiro. It's
Love it.
262 by Ichiro Suzuki in the 2004 season. So I'm going to read out the top 5 here. I'll read out the top 6 here, actually. I'll give the year and the total. So George Sisler in 1920 hit 257. Bill Terry in 1930 hit 254, which ties Lefty O'Doul in his 1929 campaign, 254. Al Simmons in 1925 hit 253, and Chuck Klein hit 250 in 1930. Now, 1930 ended up being a weird year because, so you know how Baseball Reference looks. If a number is bolded, that means it led the league that year, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the first 5 people, Ichiro, George Sisler, Bill Terry, Lefty O'Doul, and Al Simmons, all their numbers are bold. All of them led the league in hits that year. Chuck Klein didn't, 1930, because Bill Terry did. And you look down the list, and then like the next 4 people, all their numbers are in bold. Hornsby, Cobb, Sisler again, Ichiro again. And then you have Babe Herman, whose number also isn't bolded because it was also 1930. And so three of the top 11 hit seasons of all time were 1930. And I thought that was just fascinating. So I needed to learn more. We'll get into that in a second. But I want to deviate back to talk about this 2004 campaign by Ichiro that I'm just so sure we've talked about already because it's Ichiro and it's the hit season.
Yeah, I'm sure we talked about it when he retired.
Oh, absolutely. How give me a guess of what you think his OPS was that year.
750.
Wow, you really just knife to the gut there. 869.
It's just, I mean, Ichiro is a slap hitter. I know we've talked about this, but I don't remember what like the numbers, the ratio was, but like he hit a lot of doubles, but he never really hit home runs. So
no, in fact,
I don't think his OPS would be that high. I mean, it's all singles, so that's kind of what I was going with the 750.
So out of his 262 hits, 24 of them were doubles, 5 were triples, and 8 were home runs.
Yeah.
He was also intentionally walked 19 times that season, which led the league.
Yeah.
He had a 372 batting average, which led the league. There are several over 400 batting averages on this list, by the way.
What?
Yeah, George Sisler, the number 2 guy in 1920, 407 batting average.
Is there a minimum like plate appearances?
There's not, but that's because they don't need it. They have all the hits. They have 257 hits. George
Wow.
Sisler that year led the league in at bats.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we have I see 419 by Ty Cobb in 1911, 420 by George Sisler in 1922. There's some crazy 440 by Hugh Duffy in 1894. Fuck out of here.
Do you know the last time someone hit over 400?
I believe it was Ted Williams.
Like ever? Like
Yeah.
Ted Williams in the 50s?
Yeah, because there was a whole big thing where Tony Gwynn hit 394, either 394 or 396, one of those even numbers. In the 1994, and it was like looking quite possible that he was going to get to be the first batter since Ted Williams to hit 400. But then the 1940 season ended abruptly because of the strike, and he ended up not being able to get that 400 batting average.
Wow. That's wild. Yeah.
Yeah.
So 1941 was the last time someone hit over 400. Ted Williams. He hit 406.
Which is just fucking stupid. And 406 with a 1287 OPS, because he also led all the baseballs and home runs that season.
Oh, God. This is an insane list.
Oh, yeah.
So there's only been 35 people who have, or 35 seasons, I should say, that someone has hit over 400. Which, there's been, 23 perfect games?
Yeah.
This isn't that much of a stretch, especially considering it's a full season event. It's a full season accolade. Wow.
Right? That's fucking nuts. And that's the thing, is like batting average doesn't matter unless it's really high or really low. And even then it only matters because it's fun. Like no one cares if you're batting 285 because like that's nice. But people care a lot if you're batting 125. And people care a lot if you're batting 380.
Yeah, no kidding.
But like no one cares if you're batting like 304,
So
go ahead.
Do you think since Mike Trout just seems to be able to just focus on one thing every season and just improve on it just at sheer will, do you think if he just decided, hey, I'm going to give up trying to hit long balls, I'm just going to hit for contact, choke up on the bat every time, do you think he could get close to hitting 400? Or do you think there'd be someone else currently that, if that's what they were focusing on for the entire season, could do it?
Well, you know what? That's actually a really, really good question, because players throughout all of like baseball history got brought up with the mindset of, have a level swing. Actually, back in the day, like early 1900s, it was swing downwards, chop, called the Baltimore chop, to try to get ground balls so that you could try to just leg out the infielders to try to get infield singles. And then it became have a more level swing to get line drives. And now we're in the age of, swinging upwards to try to put the ball in the air. And honestly, if you told me that Mike Trout was committed to like stop hitting home runs and just try to hit singles and doubles, just because he's seemingly able to force himself to do whatever the fuck he wants, honestly, yeah, like he probably fucking could. But and it also makes me wonder if like there's other people who maybe could too. Not really. It's really, really fucking hard. But it's just interesting that like we're probably never going to see it again. Not only because again it's super fucking hard, but also it's just like that's not how we train people to play baseball anymore.
Which is partially sad because it's, it's a part of baseball history that's, there's 35 seasons. It's been 80 years since the last one was, I guess completed, since it was achieved. And that's something we're just, unless the game changes just drastically and the rules of the game change, it's gone forever. So, yeah, it's bittersweet because at the same time, if someone had a 400 hit season, that would be really cool. But that would also mean, their OPS would be 800. It wouldn't be anything super exciting. It would just. I think I enjoy this style of baseball that we have in this current era better than I would enjoy watching 1887 baseball.
Yeah, it's one of those things that's tough because I want home runs because a single home run is like way more fun than watching a dude hit 2 singles. But at the same time, watching your entire team, watching everyone get like 3 singles a game, I mean, that's a lot of hits. Like that sounds great. But you're right. I wouldn't want to go all the way back to like 1890s baseball where everyone's just swinging down and just trying to run faster than the third baseman can.
I just wonder if it's something that even if our batters were brought up from an early age to hit for average instead of hit for power, if they could even keep up with that quote unquote 400 average as the goal when ball movement nowadays is insane. There are some pitches where there could be a foot of movement or a foot of drop on a curveball or a slider. And I can't say I know off the top of my head, or even if it's something we can know, what ball movement was like back when Ted Williams was playing back in the 1930s and 40s and, maybe even before then. So it would be cool to be able to go back and see what it would be like if that is as big of an issue or as big of as prominent of a feature, I guess, in the two different styles of play. But it would be something to see because, I mean, I don't know. You watch Adam Ottavino, you watch Chaz Rowe, and how much fucking movement they get on their sliders. Can a guy hit for 400 consistently when they're seeing those crazy types of pitches?
That's one of the things that always makes me think of like fun shit you could add to the All-Star game. Like how cool would it be to see like everyone takes turns against, I don't know, pick your pitcher. But they throw like the same pitch 10 times in a row and all-star batters just have to like play the contact game where it's like no fielders, just like if you make contact, you call it a hit and you see who has the best average. So it's like Clayton Kershaw is going to come out and he's going to throw 10 curveballs and you just got to try your best. And they do it bracket style, like they do the home run derby, and then Blake Snell is going to come out and throw 10 sliders in a row. And like, you got to see how you do on it. So you know what pitch is coming, like the Astros. And you just got to like, see if you can put bat to ball. That sounds fun. I've always thought another fun one would be beat the shift where they have like an acceptable place where the ball can land and batters just have to hit it there.
Mm-hmm.
So like they'll mark the territory
Well,
that balls can be hit and then batters get points for hitting those spots.
I know they've have that in Japan in the past. I don't know if they still do
It's
that.
super fun to watch.
Yeah, I saw it with bunting specifically, which was incredible to watch. Just being able to see guys just bunt balls so perfectly, and I've seen them doing where they have kind of like targets out on stands throughout the infield, and guys have to hit balls to knock down these targets in order. It's super cool to watch.
Insanely entertaining.
That would be like having an NHL skills competition, or I guess the new Pro Bowl skills competition for football. Having that in baseball for All-Star Weekend, maybe lengthen All-Star Weekend a little bit while you're at it. That'd be pretty fucking cool.
Fuck yeah. I mean,
You know what? I take that back.
the
Don't lengthen All-Star Weekend. That's already a tough weekend as is.
yeah, I definitely
pack
think
everything together.
definitely think the MLB is lacking in skills competition stuff, so they could definitely use it.
All right. Here's an idea. Just I need you to hear me out.
Go ahead.
Have the home run derby and this skills competition happen in like I don't want to say like I guess like Oakland where you could fit 2 diamonds on either end of the football field and just have them going across the field towards each other. So you have these long ass balls going over the top of these super precision hits going on and just have everything happen at the same time. Fuck safety.
That is hot chaos.
Mm-hmm.
And we deserve
And we
that.
like that. Nah.
Anyway.
We deserve shit.
Out of all the batsmen to
Mhm.
have more than 200 hits, that is the only qualification. The only batter to have more than 200 hits in a season. What do you think the highest OPS is in that season?
923.
923? All right, 923 would put you at 112th.
Really?
Yes, the best OPS season by a batter with more than 200 hits.
Oh, 200 hits. Okay, sorry.
Lou Gehrig's 1927 season, a 1240 OPS. He had in 717 plate appearances, he had 218 hits, 52 doubles, which led the league, 18 triples, 47 home runs, 109 walks on 84 strikeouts, which is nuts. 10 stolen bases, a 373 batting average, 474 on base, 765 slugging. Very good at baseball.
Yeah, Lou Gehrig, he's pretty good.
So the only batter in the top 10 who played in the year 2000 or later was Todd Helton's 2000 Colorado campaign, in which he had 216 hits and had an 1162 OPS. Outside of that, the next most recent season, number 14 on this list, Albert Pujols' 2003 season, 23 years old, 212 hits, 1106 OPS. Yeah,
Albert Pujols, like Lou Gehrig, good at baseball.
Yeah, there's a few of those guys who play the game of baseball and are also good at it. Every now and then, a young man comes along. What do you think the most recent 200 hit season is?
Man, it's got to be pretty recent, right?
Yeah, I'm actually surprised it's not more recent, but yeah, it's recent.
I'll say 2015.
2017.
Damn, yeah.
I kind of like assumed this happens more frequently. It was Charlie Blackmon. Apparently, he's the only one who did it. Yeah, 200.
Yeah, that's a weird name for me to think. I never would have guessed Charlie Blackmon would have the most recent 200 hit season.
He's actually up there quite a bit, just because like he bats leadoff, so lots of opportunities, and he plays in cores, which I'm not saying means anything much, but it's a humongous outfield and lends itself a lot to singles.
Yeah.
After that, like Jose Altuve and Mookie Betts both did it in 2016. Jose Altuve did it in 2014. Wow, Derek Jeter did it in 2012, which feels both forever ago and yesterday.
Yeah, was that his final season?
No, he played in 2014, I believe was his last season.
Okay.
Although I'll get crucified if I get it wrong. Anyway, I had another thing, and now I am on the desperate quest to find it amongst all of the tabs I have open. Do you know?
That's why you don't have 100 tabs open at one time.
100 would be cutting it down from how many I have open right now.
You are disgusting.
Who Huey Jennings is, my friend?
No.
What state do you think Huey Jennings was born in?
Montana.
Pennsylvania.
Oh shit, I was very far off.
Born in Pittston, Pennsylvania in 1869. Huey Jennings, a Hall of Famer with 42.3 career WAR, played from 1891 to 1918. At the ripe old age of 49, he played in one game with Detroit. He leads all of baseball in history in one thing, which is why we're talking about him today. Would you like to guess what that thing is?
Leads. No, I don't.
Hit by pitch.
God damn it. That was the first thing that came to my mind. Fuck me.
How many times do you think he was hit by a pitch?
400 times.
Not that many. This number sounds much smaller now. 287.
That's still an outrageous number.
Yeah, right?
Fuck, I'm so upset with myself.
So I'm going to read to you his hit by pitches by season. In his first season, he was hit 9 times, and then 9,
Reasonable.
and then 4, and then 1, and then 3, and then 27.
That was the year he started sleeping around with all the other players' wives.
32, 51, 46, 46, 19, 2, 0, 17, 20, 12, 11, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0.
Do you think he eventually just got tired and just like kind of lined up at the back edge of the batter's box, just in the back left corner, just as far away from the plate as he could, just started seeing ghosts and was scared of the ball coming at him?
I don't even know. It's fucking dumb. In 5 years, he got hit 202 times.
Oh my God.
That's it. That's 5 years. That's all it took. I mean, so just looking at his stats, I have to assume it might be because he was good. Like in that time frame, he batted .361 with a 140 OPS plus and a 923 OPS, which is very good. There's also a 400 batting season in there, which is how I found him. Because a 401 batting average is super fucking high. And I was like, 51 hit by pitches in a 400 batting season. What the fuck? But here we are sitting at 287. That's so many hit by pitches. It's too many hit by pitches.
How does your body hold together being hit that many times with a baseball?
Well, luckily this was still the dead ball era. So the baseball might have been like softer, but that still seems like just a lot, right?
Like if I got hit by a pitch in like a major league setting, my week is over. Like I'm on bed rest. I probably can't walk if it hits me in the leg.
Oh, as Ethan would say, ruined my day.
I've been best friends with that man for like 6 years. I can't say I remember him ever saying that. And
you
now
never heard
I feel
Ethan
bad.
just say, ruined my day.
Yikes, I'm a bad friend. Friend.
By the way, just for perspective, he had 3,007 plate appearances in those 5 years, which put him at a wait, hold on. Actually, did I do the math wrong? I don't think I did the math wrong. Hold on. I deleted it now, and now this is taking too long. All right. He got hit in 6.9% of his plate appearances.
Ooh, that's a high number.
Yeah, like that's like an okay walk rate.
Yeah.
Like, actually, you know what's crazy? He had more hit by pitches than walks.
No way.
He had 200 walks in that 5 years. He had 202 hit by pitches.
No way. That's outrageous.
He had more hit by pitches than he had sacrifice hits, strikeouts, walks, home runs, triples, and doubles. That's insane.
Listen, I know we always talk about how weird baseball can get. Baseball, we don't know what's going to happen with this season. It's already weird already. Can you just be the most normal, just vanilla, basic bitch season just so we can get like a control for this? Just figure out what normal is for once, because having guys being hit with the ball more than they can take a walk is just, that is the straw that broke the camel's back for me. Done with weird baseball.
I would like you to guess what team our man Huey Jennings played for at the start of his career.
The Pittsburgh Pirates.
The Louisville Colonels.
Wait. The Louisville, Kentucky Colonels? Is this a KFC branded team?
Dude, I genuinely don't know. I really hope so. It gets better. because they finished 63 and 89, so they finished 9th in the National League. Their manager for the first part of the year was Jack Chapman, who posted a 21 and 33 record, but then got replaced by Fred Pfeffer with a 42 and 56 record. And for reference, Fred Pfeffer is spelled Fred Pfeffer, which is too many Fs. That's so many Fs.
I need to pull back on what I just said a minute ago. Hearing Fred Pfeffer being the manager for a team just reminded me how fun weird baseball is. So I immediately regret going on that little rant. I am sorry. Keep baseball weird.
Fred Pfeffer, man. Fred Pfeffer. I wonder if the Louisville Colonels became a different team.
They realized they can make more money by opening up a restaurant.
I don't think that's true. I don't think they did. I think this is it.
Damn.
Yeah. No, they just stopped existing. They were in the National League, and then they were like, we choose to not exist, and then stopped. What position do you think Huey Jennings played?
Right field.
Close. Shortstop.
Not close at all.
Yeah, so I found him because there are I found 26 over 400 batting average seasons. So I don't know why there's a discrepancy between the number you said and the number I have, but it doesn't matter. What do you think's the highest, and how much do you think it is?
Batting average?
Yes.
441.
440.
Damn.
With a 502 on base percentage, a 694 slugging, good for an 1196 OPS. 1894's Hugh Duffy is king of the batting champs. Also, there is Tip O'Neill, Nap Lajoie, Rogers Hornsby, and Willie Keeler. And wow, these names are dumb.
So I think I figured out the discrepancy.
Why is that?
How many numbers did you say you had?
I have 26.
26. It looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It looks like there's 6 listings on Baseball Almanac from 1887, and the league is AA. I don't know if that's the same AA as we have today.
No, I have those. Are those Tip O'Neill and Pete Browning?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I have those too.
Because their raw average is 485, 457, and then there's a 456 ahead of Hugh Duffy's 440.
Really?
Yeah.
This is fascinating. Point being, 1800s baseball is stupid and shouldn't count.
Exactly.
You
ever see the Conan O'Brien video that he does on Timey Baseball?
I have, yeah. It's great.
Really great.
Wholesome fun for the whole family. Anyway, so I had referenced earlier this 1930 season hit race. And it seemed so incredible to have so many players in the top 10 or top 15 most hittingest seasons all time. I wanted to see what the record was for most players in a season to hit more than 200 hits. What do you think that season is, and how many players do you think got more than 200 hits that year?
Is it 1887?
It is not 1887.
Well, then I don't have any idea. 1924.
No. The most hitting a season actually was 1930. In 1930, 20 different players hit 200 hits or more.
How many?
20.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a fuck ton of people. The second most was 1929 when 19 people did it. There's only 10 seasons of 10 or more batters all hitting 200 or more hits. It was the 1923 season, 1920, 1921, 1922, 1937, 1935, 1926, 1936, sorry, 1925 is what that said. 1929, 1930. The most recent season we have a few 2000s teams, or 2000s seasons. 2007, 2006, and 2004 all had 8 players hit over 200 hits. And that's the most. Yeah.
No kidding.
So I put together a little graph just because I was curious, and that's sort of the thing I sent you. There's a couple other tabs that have the raw data in it, which you are certainly free to peruse. But I took the I think 6 or 7 7 top guys just because I kind of wanted to get Lou Gehrig in there, and graphed out what their hits look like over the course of the season, because that was a real race, you know? Like in 1930, it was Bill Terry had the most hits with 254, but Chuck Klein had 250. Like he was right there. Babe Herman had 241, and then Freddie Lindstrom had 231, which isn't as many. It's still it's 23 hits away from Bill Terry, but Freddie Lindstrom and Bill Terry were both on the same New York Giants team, which is kind of fascinating. That those two dudes together put up nearly 500 hits. And if you look at the graph, Bill Terry, who is in blue on our graph, actually didn't lead the league. It didn't lead baseball in hits almost at all until the end of the season, when he kind of just pulled away. He led for like a little bit around between games like 19 and 30, but after that he was between second and third all the way until game like one, I don't know, what is that, like 106-ish, 110-ish? And then he ended up staying there because only because Chuck Klein's production really fell off after again, what number are we going to call this guy right here? Game 98. So, yeah, I thought this was kind of a nifty thing. A lot of guys were on pace to end up taking the crown here, and Bill Terry just kind of snuck on in on the back end.
Yeah, I love seeing these kinds of graphs, especially when you can kind of animate them.
I would love to animate it. I wish I knew how. I'm gonna have to
I
look it
honestly
up.
don't know. I really don't know.
Where there's a will, there's a way. But yeah, it's just so cool to see this little interchanging world of possibilities. Like Lou Gehrig was never really in it. He could have very reasonably finished like 5th maybe on this chart instead of 7th, but you know, he was doing other types of hitting at the time. In 1930, Lou Gehrig hit 41 home runs, which is stupid. Hack Wilson in 1930 hit 56, which is also stupid as shit. I don't like that. It's crazy. Whereas, you know, Bill Terry hit, oh no, he hit 23. Chuck Klein though, man, Chuck Klein, what a season. 250 hits, 59 doubles, led all of baseball, 8 triples, which is fine, 40 home runs, which is awesome.
I agree. I agree.
It's pretty cool stuff. So yeah, that's the 1930s hit race, and that's Fun with Baseball Stuff. This week's edition of Fun with Baseball Stuff brought to you by the good folks at Josh Tracy's Quarantine.
Unfortunately, they are not a paying sponsor, so they will not be welcome back on this show.
They do pay for the transistor fee once every other month.
Touche.
That is all I have in Fun with Baseball Stats for the day. Shall we discuss other things, or do you have anything else to say on Fun with Baseball thing?
I'm kind of ready to start making fun of some NFL teams.
Oh God, let's get into it. Fuck these jerseys.
Yeah, so 2 teams unveiled new uniforms over the past couple days. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Atlanta Falcons. One team did really, really well, and it was not the team I was expecting. Man, the Buccaneers, I really thought they were going to fuck it up, but then again, I guarantee you Tom Brady saw these ahead of time and I have to think that this was going to be a factor in him coming to Tampa Bay, because there's no way Tom Brady was going to come wear some fucking bullshit ass uniform for his final couple seasons. But they are gorgeous. They are honestly one of my favorite jerseys in the NFL right now. Just it's a traditional look. It's got the classic block letters. It's got some just it's clean all around. They shrunk the logo on the helmets just a little bit. They have just a really nice contrast with the numbers and the colors with the jerseys. I really don't have any complaints.
No, I don't think Buccaneers or general NFL fans ever had a problem with like the Bucks color scheme or
No.
anything. I think the main complaint I've always seen from people in regards to the Bucks uniforms was the digital alarm clock numbers. And that has been corrected. They now look like numbers. It's really nice. They look like how you would expect jerseys to kind of eventually slowly evolve over time. Just a newer, fresher look that is very akin to what they previously had, just touched up and changed like a bit. They look really solid. They look clean. They're simple. Again, the numbers finally look like numbers.
It's the first thing that catches the eye.
It really is. Honestly, like when I heard they were getting new jerseys, it was the first thing I looked for. Because God, those other ones just look so gimmicky. No, yeah, these look great. I've always been a fan of their helmet design, which, as you said, stayed pretty much the same. Like, no, these are really nice.
If I was a Tampa Bay fan, I think I'd be going out right now to invest in one of these jerseys, because this is the style that's going to stay for a long time, because it doesn't need any fixing. This is it. This is exactly what they're going to have for the next 20, 30 years.
If you were a Bucks fan, would you get a Tom Brady jersey?
I don't think I would.
I don't think I would either.
I mean, on one hand, it's Tom Brady, and like if he's here for 2 years and then leaves, at the end of the day, it's a nifty little Tom Brady jersey that's like a piece of history. But I don't know. I'd have to really think about it, because there are definitely some more deserving players. Like personally, I'd get Chris Godwin because he's a Penn Stater. Like that's an easy buy for me. But I definitely would have to debate getting a Tom Brady one.
I would like to shout out all Jets fans that purchased a Brett Favre jersey. What were you thinking? Fucking idiots.
That is an excellent point.
If you go on eBay and because I peruse every now and then to see what's there. If you go on eBay and look up Jets jersey, the two most common jerseys you see are Mark Sanchez, which is actually understandable. It was a big thing at the time, and Brett Favre. And it's like, who bought all the fucking Brett Favre jerseys? Why are there so many? It's been like 12 years. Why are there so many Brett Favre jerseys? Did you really think? I remember at the time thinking to myself, "Ah, fuck!" Like it was guaranteed not to work out. And I'm not saying Tom Brady's not going to work out in Tampa. I'm just saying, like, y'all got better players that are like Tampa dudes, you know. Unless Tom Brady like wins MVP and the Super Bowl in the same season and leaves like a historic lasting impact on Tampa Bay, don't buy the Tom Brady jersey.
Oh, God, it just would be so funny to have. Like if he plays his 2 years here and then retires, I feel like because Tom Brady is in fact Tom Brady,
what?
It would like transcend it being a shitty football jersey. Like at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, I'm a Tampa Bay fan. Remember that time we had Tom Brady on our team? That's ridiculous. Like it stands out in history as just being like one of those, yeah, that happened.
Again, I would like to point at Jets Brett Favre jerseys as the poster child of this.
But like Brett Favre, like he played in Minnesota, he played in other places. You know, he didn't
Atlanta.
win. Was that
Atlanta? He played in Atlanta.
Yeah, I forgot he got drafted by them. I always forget he got drafted by them. But I don't know. It's one of those things. Again, I'd have to really think about it.
A fair point, but I would also say that any Vikings fan that also has a Brett Favre Vikings jersey is also an idiot. And I understand that he was better for the Vikings than he was for the Jets, but you're still a fucking idiot. You
And,
got
like,
it. And I'm speaking to every Vikings fan that has this shit buried in their closet or at the bottom of a drawer. You got it because you wanted to, like, a Packers fan, and you're like, oh, this will piss him off. And then you bought it and you wore it and you're like, ha ha ha. How's it feel to have Vikings legend Brett Favre playing for the Vikings now? Fuck you, Terry. And Terry was like, you spent $100 on this really shitty joke. And you were like, fuck you, Terry. I got Brett Favre on the Vikings. And that was it. That's why you bought it. That's why you still have it. You never got rid of it because every time you see it, you're like, fucking Terry. And it's a shit jersey to have. You should so many better jerseys. Buy Fran Tarkenton. It's a way better jersey. End of rant.
At least Brett Favre on the Vikings almost won them a Super Bowl.
That's what I'm saying. He was better. I will give you that. He was much better for the Vikings than the Jets, which really just means the Jets are worse than the Vikings as a franchise, which is also
more Super Bowls though.
Yes, by one. And 3 fewer appearances.
Would you make any changes to these Bucs uniforms?
No, not a one. No, because I like the 3 different versions. I'm so glad they didn't go with an all black version. It's so played out now. The fact that Jets have to be sad, but yeah, these all look great.
There are teams that should have all black, like
the Panthers.
We'll talk about Atlanta. Atlanta should have an all black because
their logo
they've had the black uniforms in their history a long time. I feel like the pewter color, their gray dark jerseys, I don't know, like it just looks a little too brown to me almost. I kind of probably would have changed the tint, the shade of that. I don't know how I want to phrase that. Just a little bit. But at the end of the day,
I could see it like going towards gold or going towards silver, but I understand why it's the color it is.
Yeah, like I have, it's not a big deal in the slightest.
Yeah, I think
Atlanta, on the other hand,
clean as shit. Oh God, Atlanta, it's so bad. It's
it's something that I would expect out of like the XFL. You know, like the trend with cars a couple years ago. I know, like Lexus, it was big with, where it was, how big of a grill can we put on this car?
Yeah.
That's what the Atlanta like ATL looks like to me. It's just, there's no way it could be any bigger on that jersey, and it's why ATL.
All right, so I will start with a compliment. The helmets look nice.
Oh, the helmet with the old logo, gorgeous.
Yeah, great. Big
Love
fan.
it to death.
It's matte black except for the logo, which is glossy, and that is such a sharp look.
That is
love to see
the absolute perfect way I would have designed. Like if we redesigned these jerseys ourselves, that is what I would have started with, and that's exactly how I would have designed them.
100%. Now, for the jersey itself, I would like to offer you this word to how I would probably describe them. Cheap. They look really cheap.
Yeah, they do.
They look like a bad Alibaba fake. Like and it's funny, but I'm also being completely like, these look so fucking fake.
And we just talked about it with the Buccaneers. It's the numbers.
The numbers are shit.
They are,
like you said, the ATL is bizarre. The color scheme,
worst numbers I've seen in the NFL.
This fucking stupid little point on the top of the 2 on Matt Ryan's jersey is the dumbest looking thing.
It's like, it's
the racing stripe on the side, only on the underarm. It's And like you said, the ATL and the fact that like the 2 and the ATL, I'm very sure are sewn on, but also look just steam pressed is just or heat pressed. It looks so bad. You know what it looks like to me though when I look at it with the ATL? It looks
What?
like an intern or someone somewhere in the organization said, "Hey, the NBA has this really cool thing called city edition jerseys where they like have like nicknames for the city. What if we put like something like that on ours and had it look a little bit more like an NBA jersey? Because honestly, if you took away like the collar of this and the sleeves, this works a lot better as an NBA jersey.
Mm-hmm.
But
Sure.
it's not, and it looks like shit.
The numbers
So
and the
bad.
ATL lettering are just so
Bargain brand.
just it's so distracting that you don't even notice that the rest of the jersey is very close to perfect. I
Yeah,
have
rest of
no
it's fine.
complaints. I love the rest of the jersey on all of them, on the home, away, alternates, whatever, except for one that we'll talk about. I think they're fantastically done and exactly how I would have done them. My God, it's just you fucked up the arguably the most important part. It's the first thing you see, and you can't look at anything else. Um,
This is how I feel with the Jets new uniforms, where it's like I don't know what Atlanta fans were asking for with the jersey redesign. Like I knew what Jets fans were
can't
asking
be
for,
this.
but I was going to say it cannot be this, and I guarantee you there was some like small minor change that they were like this is the only with Jets fans it was give us the Kelly Greenback
Mhm.
and either an old edition of the logo or something more minimalistic. And what the
Yeah.
Jets went with was a brand new shade of green, which I'm not a fan of, but can understand wanting, and a minimalistic version of the shit logo that we've always had, which is a relatively football shaped oval with the word Jets in it. And it's tacky and terrible. It's so bad. I can't imagine anyone wanted that. And that's what this feels like. It feels like someone was like, we need to have Atlanta be more present as a force. All right, let's just slap a few letters on the chest and call it a day. And oh, by the way, let's fuck up the numbers while we're here. And that's what they got.
I'm just so disappointed, and I forget what the NFL rule is for how often you can change your jerseys, but it's going to be something like 5 years before they can fix this. It's bad. And you know what? We haven't even started to talk about the fucking gradient jerseys that look like they're wearing their pants at their fucking belly button.
Oh, yeah, that batch of fucking stupidity. The
Like,
gradient jersey could have been such a cool idea, and I really actually teams did something more creative like that, like how the
uh
Jags are. But like you're right, it looks like they're wearing their pants up to their navel like everyone's
yeah,
grandfather.
like everyone universally agreed that when the Jags put out their last jerseys with the gradient black to gold, it was a really cool idea that was just super poorly executed because it was such a hard switch. Like there was no real I forgot the terminology that I used to know from like Photoshop, but like the gradient wasn't gradual. It was very quick in changing of the colors. And everyone was like, yeah, dude, if it was more gradual of a change, it'd be totally fine and honestly be pretty cool. This has the exact same issue where it's just you could see it the way Grady Jarrett is standing in the pictures, every single picture. He has his arms across his waist and it makes it looks like it was a bad Photoshop because the above his arms is a completely different color than below his arms, and you can't tell that they're shaded together. I'm just so disappointed.
Yeah, yeah, man. I mean, it's ugly. It's just ugly. It looks like when you're a kid and your mom buys you like a spiffy outfit for the first day of third grade, and you look
Mhm.
like the fucking dweeb. All these guys look like
Oh,
dweebs. all these guys look like their mom bought them new jerseys, but they were knockoffs, and all their friends are gonna think that they're fucking dweebs. Cause
Also,
yeah,
with the numbers, if they were flat lettering, if it was flat lettering with an outline, sure, that's totally fine. But it has that stupid ass clip art, word art, like effect where it makes it look 3D by having shading only on one side. It's so bad. I it is unbelievable how much I despise these jerseys. The alternate throwbacks, like the picture you just sent me, it's the one I think it's
number
Calvin Ridley is
16.
wearing. Yeah, 16, 18, whatever. I think it's 18.
Oh, actually, yeah, it
Um,
is 18.
those look great. That's
I was about
exactly
to,
what I wanted. That
I
is
was about to ask about that because
exactly what I would have wanted them to be.
that one it looks so much better. The numbers look normal, and it's missing the ATL. That's to
Yep.
be.
If they told me that that is their home jersey and that the rest of these are just different alternates, this takes it from like a 4 change to like a 6. Because
Yeah.
I can accept seeing that jersey 8 times a year, and
Oh,
the rest of
absolutely.
these is just
It's so
Atlanta.
clean.
God, what? Have we talked about the Rams logo yet? Because
Oh my God, we haven't.
that's the exact same boat. Where that is just you took something that really wasn't bad at all, and you just fucking
It's
um
awful. It's for anyone unaware. You can obviously just go fucking Google it. But it's it's the letters LA, and the right hand side of the A curves around to make what is supposed to be a ram's horn, and
mhm.
it looks tacky. It looks super tacky. It does not look good. Um, and it's
Again, it looks
just
like
a
something out
lot.
of the AFL.
It does. It just looks. It also looks impractical as a piece of apparel. Like if
Oh,
you look at it on hats, because there's already hats with it on it, the hats look shitty. Like it doesn't
uh-huh.
look like a hat I'd want to own. And it sounds like a weird thing to say about NFL or any sports team logos, but the logos need to look good on clothes. Otherwise, people aren't going to buy them.
Yeah. God, this is the worst logo in the NFL by far now, right? Can you think of anything that's this bad?
Well, the Jets' new logo I still think is so fucking awful, and it gives. Why can't you give us one reason to like this team? But sorry. Outside of that, no, this is the worst. This is definitely the worst. It's it. They just
It's
they had too much fun with it.
like I'm so disappointed with it that like I don't even want to spend time talking on it because it doesn't deserve any attention. I mean, it deserves people to shit on it, rightfully so. And I guess I loved the old. I guess they're kind of new when they moved to LA. Just the blue and white Ram logo that they've always had, just less colors. Um, I thought that was a great logo. I love that Ram logo. And I thought this year when they changed their uniforms again, going to that navy blue and white, change the helmets, have that be just a 2-color team would be fantastic. I thought that would be super minimalistic, super clean, super sharp, and they'd have some phenomenal uniforms. But like the Ram logo that they have now, not like the LA one, the picture of the Ram looks like it looks like a preppy high school logo.
I continuously think it's the Chargers logo.
Yeah. Why you're 2 teams in the same city. Why are you trying so hard to have the same colors?
I know, makes not a bit of sense. Again, like it doesn't need to be this much. Like you're just doing a lot, man. You're just doing a lot. Uh there's no need to get this fucking creative with it. I get you don't want to do, like anything that resembles other famous LA brands. Like you don't want to do like something that has a relatively interlocking LA like you would with the Dodgers logo.
Mhm.
Uh but oh, Oh, this is the best you got?
I want to know how much these teams paid for this.
So much.
How much fucking money, how much time, effort, how many meetings went into coming up with bullshit? And what were the other options? That's
Like,
that's what drives me insane. Why in the world do you not put this shit up to a vote
I know.
and let fans decide? Like, if it's really bad and fans are like, the internet takes over with this joke and tries to pick the worst one on purpose because the internet thinks it's funny. Okay, then you go on and it's like, all right, we're gonna get rid of that entry and the next highest wins. That's not that difficult to do. I
I
don't know why more teams don't utilize that.
I want to talk about the Lakers logo because I don't understand why the Rams couldn't have just done this because it works for a team literally already in their own city that they could have just kind of adopted the idea of. And for anyone unaware, like the main Lakers logo is a basketball, it's orange, it has the words Los Angeles Lakers in front of it in a nice looking font, and it's got a purple background. Sometimes it's gold, sometimes it's orange. Basketballs are orange, the Lakers are gold. Sometimes it depends. Anyway, and then they have an alternate logo, which is just the L that has a little bit of streaking done to it, again in front of a basket for a smaller logo concept. And it's not fancy. It's a good fucking logo though.
Yeah.
It's a nice looking logo. It's clean, it's simple, it's effective. And if the Rams just did something like this, but with like their spiral football helmet design in the background instead of a basketball, and it said in their own type of font, Los Angeles Rams. And then you have a simplified version of the logo where it's got something else as a backdrop with a big letter R or something like that. Like, there's better ideas in the world for logos. Don't be so fucking creative. Stop trying to reinvent the logo.
It's
Could you imagine if all teams
frustrating.
had to force the thing their that their team represents into the lettering of their logo of their team? Like, imagine if Detroit had to fit a lion into DET the same way the Rams are forcing a ram's horn into LA. Or like, imagine if the Patriots had to fit Pat the Patriot into the word Patriot the way that the Rams are trying to force a ram horn into LA. Or imagine if the Tampa Bay Buccaneers had to force a pirate ship into the word Tampa Bay Buccaneer the way that the Rams are forced. It's stupid. It's fucking stupid.
That would actually be really, really funny.
It'd be hilarious. I'm not even gonna lie. It's just dumb. It's dumb and I
um,
hate it.
that's you're preaching to the choir, my friend.
I love how anytime sports jerseys come up, all of a sudden male fans of sports teams become fashion experts.
To be
Myself
fair, we're the
included.
ones buying the gear.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, 100%. I mean, I am fully in this part of my own critique. I'm just saying, it is funny.
Um, Man, this is going to be something like they definitely thought. Well, first of all, this leaked way beforehand, and everyone shit on it. And the Rams were like, "Nah, they'll love it when we actually put it out. This is just them hating on it. They'll love it when we put this out for real." And didn't think maybe we should try again. Maybe we should try option 2 we had, and just see it. It's
To
what
to
it's just whatever.
to your point, like, it is kind of surprising how many, at least baseball teams, I'm not sure about other teams, but I really wouldn't be surprised if it was other teams too. Uh,
Hmm.
where their name was chosen because of a fan vote. Like, it
Yeah.
sounds like a cop out, but think about it. If your fans are the ones who are going to be like supporting the team and buying your shit, buying your tickets, buying your jerseys, buying your hats and jackets and all that other shit, maybe you want them to like the logo. Like, let them vote on it. Honestly, it saves you guys a ton of work, doesn't it?
Oh yeah. And you know what? Why not have it be where you have a fan contest and whoever designs the best logo gets to have the logo for the team? You could literally set this up so easily where you're getting the best option that the fans vote for and universally love, and you get it for fucking free.
Yeah.
It's so simple.
Or in exchange for like 1 year season tickets, which again costs a team nothing.
Nothing.
It costs them way less than like a marketing department would. And to even lean into how easy this could be, like if you're LA, you could be like, submit your logo to like a design team that we have of UCLA students, and like the UCLA students will like make your logo into a reality, and then you have an easy cooperative effort with a local college/university there, which might also help with your recruiting efforts. Who knows? But there's so many better ways of doing it, right?
100%.
Ugh.
It drives me nuts, man. It just drives me nuts.
It really does. It feels like one of those common sense things, but fucking oh well. What else we got? You want to talk about other things?
Yeah, so I'm already forgetting what we texted each other about talking about today.
Oh, so the NFL did formally announce that they're going to be doing the
Yes,
draft
yes.
online. It will be virtual, and all of the I'm going to redact that. I don't know if it's all, but a large chunk of the proceeds will be going to charities that sponsor COVID-19 relief efforts and fundraising efforts, which is very good on their part. What do you think about the whole thing?
I think it's a very good solution to this. I know NFL teams are freaking out about not only making sure it's fair, making sure there's no technical difficulties. They're concerned about letting IT people into their houses, possibly spreading the disease. IT people are concerned about going into these houses and possibly getting sick. Um, there was a lot of concern about being able to complete trades on time when everyone is so spread out. There's a lot that can go wrong here. I can't wait for a team to lose connection and to miss a pick. I think it's almost guaranteed that a team misses a pick here. Just something goes wrong or some incorrect player is picked. Like, you know, we've seen this in our own fantasy drafts where someone wants to draft David Johnson, running back out of, well, now Houston, and someone selects Pittsburgh tight end David Johnson instead because people are stupid. They make simple mistakes. It's very easy to fuck something up on the computer, and it's a lot easier to write down exactly what you want and have it be on that card where someone knows what should be going on that card, and you're not just selecting a seemingly random name out of a list. I feel like they're going to have to give teams more time per pick just because this could easily be a just an unstoppable rolling stone where a team that loses connection isn't able to get on for 40 minutes because that's what happens sometimes, especially with big corporations where tech guys probably aren't going to be at the houses of the GMs. They might not be. I don't know how these teams are going to run it. It could easily be a thing where a team might not even have a first round pick because so much shit gets fucked up. I'm guarantee the NFL is thinking of all these things and are doing everything in their power to be able to mitigate the risk of all that. And there's going to be a lot of workarounds, and there's a lot more information that they will announce before the draft that will be changes to help calm these fears and just make this an easier process for everyone involved. But I am just wildly intrigued by how this is going to work out because this could be one of the I don't want to say funniest, but this could just be a shit show, and I'm so excited. I my final thought on it is I really hope they spread it out where it's like one round per day, because it would allow these teams to, when they can't have a war room, be able to communicate more and be able to be on the same page. And because we got nothing else to do, and if we could have a week of drafting, that would be really fucking awesome.
I think the way the NFL should do this is all GMs write down like I don't know, they rank from 1 to 100 all the players that they would have drafted, and then Goodell just goes through in the draft order and goes like, so and so got picked first, so he's gone, and he crosses that name off of everyone's list,
Right.
and then if it gets to you and like your top 3 players are gone, then it's just number 4 it is. You drafted Jimmy Butler. I don't know who NFL draft players are, and Jimmy Butler plays their different sport. But yeah, that way everyone's upset and also has players, and there you go.
What if we just put every player's name in a hat and just drew at random? So instead of the Bengals getting Joe Burrow first overall, they get fucking Chris Armstrong, who is projected to go in the 6th round. That would be really fucking funny.
I think that they should have all the names written in a huge circle, right? However big a circle needs to be to fit all the names of everyone being drafted. And they give, and every name has a light bulb next to it, and all the GMs at their respective homes have a little button, and the light just spins in a circle, and whenever you want a player, you just push the button. And whatever player his name is lit up when you push the button, you draft that guy.
What if it's the same scenario with like every player gets a spot on a board, and then there's like every pick or every round, whatever it may be, teams can put in the name of one player that they want to take that round. And based on draft order, if there's, 2 teams that put in for Joe Burrow in round 1, the team with the lower draft pick gets him, and the higher guy gets nothing. So 32 teams are putting in names that they're trying to grab. And the strategy is, all right, put in a name that no one else is going to go for if you're, a higher level team. And just teams could get absolutely fucked over. So like the Redskins and the Bengals both put in for Joe Burrow in the first round. The Bengals get him because they're 1 draft slot lower. And then the Redskins, who have the 2nd overall pick, get fucking nothing.
So I love that. You're right. It's going to have to be a huge chunk of time in between picks. I could see them conceive. The thing is, though, if you do that and you add a huge chunk of time between picks, it no longer becomes a fun thing to watch on TV, which is a big deal. Like 8 minutes between picks. Is that what round 1 is? 6 minutes? 8 minutes?
I honestly think it's like 15.
Is it
like
really 15?
10 or it's like 10 or 15 minutes. It's something.
You know what? You're right. It's long. So let's highball and say it's 15. That's a lot of time, but like usually the first 5 picks go by pretty quick because people know who they want, and if anything does take too long, it's usually because there's a trade being discussed, which is exciting.
10 minutes.
10 minutes. Okay. So like 10 minutes, it's a long time, but it moves relatively quickly, and it's the main event. So like you're seeing names that you've been hearing about a lot, and it gives the commentators who are talking about each of these guys and each of these teams a lot of stuff to say in between picks. But if you honestly, I'd say you probably might have to double or even triple it, 20, 30 minutes between picks. That's long
unbearable.
time.
That would be unbearable to watch.
Exactly. And I do think it's probably necessary because you have a longer chain of communication that now needs to be rung with more, obstacles that they're going to present themselves, which is just going to make it more challenging. So giving everyone a lot more time, I think, is not only sensible, but fair and just. it also makes it way less interesting as an entertainment product. So I do wonder how they're going to run it, because if they want to maintain the timeline that they currently have, at least with like the number of days, then I wonder just how they're going to break everything up. Because if you told me day 3 is like, they went from 3-minute per pick to like 12 minutes per pick, I still am not going to watch it. And no one cares, and you can just have it run all day. But
I'm still gonna watch every pick.
I know who you are. But like, I usually watch round 1, and if it's 30 minutes a pick, I mean, granted, I have nothing to do right now. Like, I very much so could just put it on in the background, but that becomes a lot more of a commitment with a lot less interest.
Mm-hmm. So I forgot that I didn't take off of work for that weekend, and I'm now panicking to make sure that I can do that in time, because if I have to work while the draft is going on, I may quit. I may quit my job. But yeah, so Roger Goodell did come out and say yesterday that they're going to be doing a mock draft with all 32 teams. I don't know how that's going to go. I really hope that they let people either be a part of it, like watch it, or at least give us the information on how it works so that we as fans also know what the fuck's going to happen and how it's going to go.
I hope they also use fake player names or previous drafts, because if not, that seems highly problematic.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I feel like the best way to do it would just be using a past year's draft, like just use the players from last year.
Yeah, something like that, because it would be very problematic to have NFL's quote unquote mock draft the 2020 NFL draft to each other
that would
in
be
public.
truly amazing. Just because I would love to see the kind of psychological warfare teams would use to trick teams into not knowing, or faking other teams out about who they're going to pick. I could easily see some of the I'll say stupider teams straight up just picking who they're going to pick and making it super obvious. And then just smarter teams just ramming their dicks in their ass and just fucking them over. Oh man, this to make light of just how horrible the world is right now, like this is going to be the highlight of my year, just the shit show that's going to be the NFL. I can't wait. I'm going to get fucking plastered and I'm so happy.
Do you think the NFL is loving this lack of sports right now? Because when their season starts, people are probably going to flock to the stadiums, having not spent any money on sporting events all season.
I feel like they're vocally freaking out, and they probably are concerned, but like I don't want to say the back of their head, but like right behind all the concern is like, we're gonna fucking make all the money in the goddamn world this year. Let's fucking go. Like they are totally happy that they are just gonna be the first major sports. At this point, I assume they're gonna be the first major sports league to come back. They're gonna make so much money. They're gonna just be able to print money this year.
You know what's crazy is that the draft is probably going to be the first televised sports league content that is new.
Oh,
that
absolutely.
will be out for like 2 months, because everything the NHL, NBA, and MLB are showing right now, like they are showing content, but it's all old games and shit. Like the draft will be the first thing where it's like, hey, this is sports related and is not a rerun.
Yeah, like this is real, dude. This is actually going on.
Yeah, that's actually kind of wild.
These like the ratings that the draft is going to get this year are going to be astronomical. It's going to be like MASH finale type numbers, because there's going to be nothing else for any sports fan to watch.
Damn, that's I didn't even think about that until just now. That's fucking nuts.
Dude, do you imagine what like opening weekends for like the first sporting event out of like, depending on what it is, like if the first football game televised is, let's say opening weekend or the Hall of Fame game for the NFL, that's going to be honestly probably on par with the Super Bowl for how many people are going to watch it, because what else is there to watch? Like, people are just going to be so desperate for sports.
If there was televised Pee Wee hockey right now, I would form a die-hard allegiance to a team. I mean,
I'd be betting all my money on it.
Oh, dude, I would ice in my veins, like full-throated screaming at my television, watching 7-year-olds play hockey. Like, give me something. Tibetan monks playing basketball, I don't care. Like, I'll watch anything for competitional purposes right now.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I've been watching a bunch of just scouting film lately, and that's been hitting my fix. But it's not the same. Like, it's nice because it's prepping for the draft that's coming up, but at the same time, it's not the same as watching real football, and it's going to hit differently this year for sure.
I know what I'm going to say. I'm thankful for come Thanksgiving this year.
Yeah, I know. Like, half the world died. The economy's in shambles. There's now 6 pandemics that are coming that have branched out of this, but thank God I got shit to do on the weekends now watching football. So I'm thankful for that.
Love it. Anything else we wanted to talk about for today?
I did have one other thing I wanted to bring up, but we could go more into that closer to the draft.
All right, then I won't even ask. We'll save it for later.
Oh,
we'll spread out this content. Oh, that's right. Movie picks. Movie picks. That's our intro song. Corwin.
Can you clip that and play that every time we do movie picks every week? Movie picks.
Maybe. We'll see. What are you choosing for your weekend film for Monday's episode?
So I feel like it was nice having a film that you had seen before and were able to give a more, I don't want to say in depth, but like you experience it again, you're able to see more to it, the deeper things. So I went with something I know you've seen, and I am ashamed to say I have never seen. That is also very fitting for what we're all going through right now, being trapped in the house all day, every day for weeks on end, months on end at some point. The Shining.
Ah, good choice. Good choice. I have lots of opinions.
Ooh, that's good. I have no opinions because I've never seen it.
Well, it's Stanley Kubrick, so I think you will at the very least enjoy the filmmaking of it.
I hope.
There's a lot of great choices on this list that you sent me that I was hoping to make a game time decision, and I had just kind of decided, and now I'm revisiting the list and it's hard. I will then go with The Death of Stalin.
Ooh.
Love that movie. Would love to rewatch it.
I've seen maybe 30 minutes of it.
Oh, it's so good.
But I was inebriated at the time, and I don't remember much of anything. So I'm very looking forward to seeing it again.
We will certainly discuss it. The scene I'm about to mention, and you will see this scene when you watch it. But my favorite scene of the movie, and it doesn't spoil anything, but feel free to listen without worrying about anything, is Michael Palin taking a shit while they're threatening to kill a high-ranking Russian official, and then just fucking taking a shit. He's just there, like he was like, we're in a bathroom, and just like, I'm gonna go poop, and then he does. It's fucking hilarious. Also, great to see Michael Palin in things. Michael Palin of Monty Python fame doesn't do a lot anymore, so it was nice to see him.
Yeah. All right. So I don't know when we're recording it because time is a flat circle, and I don't know what day it is today. So Whenever
every
we
day is
record
Friday
it.
now. Every day is
Yeah,
Friday.
pretty much.
So yeah, I guess we'll record on Sunday again. That's been our thing recently.
Sure.
Give ourselves time.
Sure.
All right. Anything else for today?
No.
Okay. Well, if you want to follow the show on Twitter, you can do so at JuicingPod. If you want to hit us up via email, you can do so at juicingthenumbers@gmail.com. And until Monday, y'all have a good one.
Bye.